Court is back in session. Welcome back to another episode of Tony's Takes, presented by yours truly, the leader of the Joe Judge fan club. This is my solo show that I just started here on the Fireside Giants YouTube channel, so stay tuned to plenty of more videos just like this one, where it's me doing solo video, discussing a Giants topic, and many of them are going to be by your request. Members, if you guys have any video topics you want me to discuss, let me know, and they will be discussed, and you will get a shout out on Tony's Takes. But anyway, today, we have a pretty interesting topic. Kyle Rudolph is going to be the main source of this topic because this is a signing that I think Giants fans just aren't giving enough credit for being really good. Like, this is a really underrated signing to me. The signing of Kyle Rudolph is really important for the Giants offense because it allows them to fit this player into their scheme the proper way. Because last season, we saw Evan Engram struggle really badly. We all know him and all of his drops, the nightmares that we're going to have for years because of the Evan Engram drops of 2020. We will never forget those, Evan. But one way that we can heal from those awful experiences of Evan Engram drops is by getting a new tight end who's really reliable. And that's what Kyle Rudolph is. And one of the great things about Kyle Rudolph is he's a red zone scoring machine, as the title of this video indicates. The Giants' offense last season was terrible. They averaged 17.5 points per game, second to last in the NFL. And one of the reasons that they were so bad is because they sucked in the red zone. Within 0 to 20 yards of the end zone, they could not get the ball in at an efficient rate. They ranked 31st in the NFL in red zone scoring percentage at 46.34%. Now that's really bad, and that means that the Giants, while they might have been getting down to scoring position, they weren't converting and scoring enough points. Of course, 17.5 points per game, just an unbelievably bad number to be at this day and age for the NFL. The modern NFL is so high scoring. You have quarterbacks throwing for 5,000 yards nearly every single season. You got Patrick Mahomes going for 50 touchdown passes. Like, there's so many high scoring offenses out there. So for the Giants just to be so far down at the bottom is just, you can't win like that. They will not be a playoff team until they improve their offense. Now, of course, it looks like they did improve their offense. They went out into free agency and the draft this year. They made a lot of moves. Kenny Golladay, 6'4", outside, big body, number one, ex-receiver. He's going to fix a lot of those problems that the Giants were having in the receiving game last year, and he's going to help a lot in the red zone. That big body of Kenny Golladay is going to go up there, make some big plays, and of course, he's just got a knack for scoring touchdowns. Led the NFL in touchdown receptions in 2019 in his Pro Bowl breakout season. Kenny Golladay, huge addition there. Kadarius Toney might not be the biggest red zone threat, but still an amazing addition on offense. Giants offense should improve drastically. Of course, you have Saquon Barkley coming back from injury. He'll help you in the red zone and elsewhere. But one of the signings that is going to help immensely in the red zone is Kyle Rudolph. The Giants last season did not really have anyone that they could depend on in the red zone. Of course, Daniel Jones had a red zone passer rating of a 75.8 overall. The league average is 96.1, so he's well below the average there. Again, the Giants just struggled in the red zone, lacked a consistent receiving threat there. But Kyle Rudolph, throughout the entirety of his NFL career, he's an 11-year veteran at this point, he has been phenomenal in the red zone every single year. And I got a lot of great stats to back that one up. So one of the things with Kyle Rudolph, though, that, you look at the Giants offense last season, then you look at Kyle Rudolph entering this offense, you say, okay, Evan Engram, for what he did to drop all those passes and really struggle in that regard, could he have been efficient in the red zone? More efficient in the red zone? Absolutely, because he only had one touchdown this entire season. Granted, it was in the red zone, but he wasn't really making an impact in the red zone either. His red zone stats are not very impressive. Last season, he had 5 for 8 receptions, caught 5 of 8 targets, and had 1 touchdown. In 2019, in the red zone, he was targeted 9 times, caught 3 of those, and had 1 touchdown. Now, Kyle Rudolph, on the other hand, this is a guy you're talking about 73 catches, 0 drops in the last 2 seasons. Take that over and compare it to Evan Engram's 11 drops in 2020 alone, and you say, man, thank God the Giants finally have a sure-handed tight end on their roster. Kyle Rudolph is going to do a lot of things in the Giants offense, but in terms of the red zone, let's look at his scoring ability. 48 career touchdowns for Kyle Rudolph. 40 of them, 83.83%, have come in the red zone. An insane statistic. The man is literally a red zone scoring machine. When he scores in the red zone, and a lot of them are just from 3 yards out, 2 yards out, 1 yard out. But he just goes up there, makes some catches, and usually lines up as an inline tight end and does a whole lot as just a short range receiver in the red zone. His red zone stats over the past 3 years: 2018, he was 8 for 14 with 3 touchdowns. 2019, 8 for 11 with 5 touchdowns. 2020, we all know Kyle Rudolph's role reduced significantly with the addition of Irv Smith Jr. into the Minnesota Vikings lineup, but he still had 4 targets, caught 2 of them, and had 1 touchdown. So you take all of that and you look at it and you say, man, Kyle Rudolph has been phenomenal in the red zone for the entirety of his career. And he's going to enter the Giants offense that has sucked in the red zone, and he's going to make a huge, huge difference. He's going to line up as your inline tight end, and he's going to probably chip block, and then he's going to go ahead and get open, use his spatial awareness, make some nice catches. He has a big body, big frame, goes up there, boxes people out like he's playing basketball, and can make the catch. And he's also got the ability to make some pretty fantastic one-handed receptions as well, which we are going to see in the next portion of this video. So we're going to do a film breakdown segment. I know a lot of you guys have been asking for more film breakdowns. And a lot of you guys have appreciated when we do the discussions and the film breakdowns in one video. So that's what I'm doing right here. Just discuss all the Kyle Rudolph stats, recap them for you. And, of course, now we'll transition right over into the film breakdown. All right, so now we'll transition over into the film portion of this video and take a look at some of Kyle Rudolph's best plays in the red zone. All right, so as you'll see, this first play is going to be one that's probably familiar to many of you fans. Giants fans or not, you should probably recognize this play. This one actually stirred up quite a bit of controversy. So this was a game-winning touchdown reception in overtime of a wild card playoff game between the Minnesota Vikings and the New Orleans Saints. I believe this was 2019. So on this play, you're going to see Kyle Rudolph split out wide to the left side of the line of scrimmage, so the top of the screen. Basically, what happens here, you're going to have a 50-50 goal line fade, and Kyle Rudolph is just going to box out this corner and go get it. Now, if you look at it closely on the review, the instant replay, some say that he pushed off. I personally didn't think it was enough to warrant a flag. The refs didn't either. Call stands. It's a touchdown. But basically what I want to draw from on this play is the fact that Kyle Rudolph, yes, he is traditionally an inline tight end. But what he also is a big body who can just go up and get it. So you can split him out wide and throw him that goal line fade. And you can do it with efficiency because he is just so good at going up there and making those contested catches in the red zone. And another thing that I want to point out here is when you watch this play, you see, okay, bad snap for Kirk Cousins. Okay, that's one thing. But then the pass rush gets there, and Kirk Cousins just has to get the ball off. One thing that the Giants didn't have last year when dealing with the red zone, what they did have was Daniel Jones constantly under pressure last season, right? But what they didn't have was someone for him to just throw the ball up to when he is under pressure. Just throw this 50-50 ball and trust that his receiver can go get it. There was no trust between Daniel Jones and any of his wide receivers on the outside last season. You know, who would he have done this with last year on the goal line? He's under pressure, just needs to throw up a goal line fade, doesn't have any time to look at any other route combinations. As you see, they ran 3 routes on the right side of the field. Kirk Cousins would have never had any time to look over there. He was throwing the goal line fade from the start just because he knew he was going to be under pressure from this blitz up the middle. So who did Daniel Jones have to do that to last year? Who could he have thrown this goal line fade to? Nobody. Now he's got Kenny Galladay, of course, but he's also got Kyle Rudolph. Case in point, he did it with the Minnesota Vikings. This is 2019 clutch moment in a playoff game. He delivers in big moments, and this is a great play to demonstrate that he is just a great red zone threat. He's got a big catch radius, a strong body. He can go up there, and he can get it and make the play, and that will take a lot of pressure off of Daniel Jones when the Giants get down in the red zone. So this next play is again interesting because once again we're going to see Kyle Rudolph not play the inline tight end position. I promise that's what he does for the most part, but for these couple of clips I wanted to demonstrate that it's not all that he does. The rest of them he will be in line. But here he's going to line up in the slot actually, showing once again maybe he's got a little bit more versatility than people give him credit for. He's not just a pure inline tight end. Towards the beginning of Kyle Rudolph's career actually he was really looked at as a receiving tight end. It's as his game evolved, as his career went on, that he really developed into being more of a traditional inline tight end blocker and red zone guy. But he's always been great in the red zone, and on this play against the Buffalo Bills, you're going to see him not win by jumping over somebody, but this one's going to be a little bit different because he's actually going to get himself open. So you're going to see lined up in the slot here, and he's going to run this ball from the 5-yard line, just run a curl. the way he comes back to the ball is really solid here, and I want to take a look at exactly how he secures this touchdown. So when he gets up to the cornerback's face, right? So it's one-on-one. He's got the cornerback right there. When he turns around, he does have the awareness to use his hands, get a little bit physical, create some separation. Don't push off, but get some physicality in there and make it so that you keep the defender away with arm's length. So then he separates, and what he does here, he comes back to the football. You can see him working back to the front of the end zone, but also making sure that he doesn't leave the end zone. And that's really key, because if you just say you just run up the curl and you just turn right around, well, the cornerback is easily going to be able to undercut that. But since Kyle Rudolph pushed his hands out and then came back to the football, makes it a lot easier for Kirk Cousins to get that ball in there. Makes it a lot easier for Kyle Rudolph to attack that football at the point, at the catch point, and make this reception. And I love, the cornerback does make the play on the ball. This is a safety, actually, Micah Hyde. He does get on Kyle Rudolph's back while he's trying to make this reception. But Kyle Rudolph is so sure-handed. You can see it right there where I paused it, that this is a contested catch. He's so sure-handed. He's a big body, possession receiver. He's able to catch it and secure it with ease. Now, again, this one, we're going to see him move in, and he's going to be on the inline tight end here. So this is a real jumbo I formation package by the Minnesota Vikings here on the 1 yard line against the Dallas Cowboys. And if I remember correctly, Kyle Rudolph had 2 touchdown receptions in this game. So he's on the right side of the offensive line here, playing the inline tight end. Left side. And yeah, basically he just gets himself wide open for an easy touchdown reception. And we're going to rewind this so we can watch once again how he gets himself open. So he's got the free release, but it's one-on-one man coverage with a linebacker. I think that's Sean Lee. And so it's one-on-one. Basically, what you're going to see, again, like we saw in the last play, the physicality. Kyle Rudolph is just going to put his hands on that player and then extend them, not push off, but he's going to extend, and he's going to get himself open, create separation through the physicality, through his hands. Of course, you're going to see Sean Lee and every defensive back or every linebacker that guards Kyle Rudolph in this situation cry for a pass interference call, an offensive pass interference call. They're not going to get it, okay? Because there's nothing egregious there. He's not shoving him so rough that, there's just no chance for Sean Lee to recover. Sean Lee is just slow, and the Cowboys suck. So Kyle Rudolph is able to easily score this touchdown. So you can see him once again lined up in line, see him fire out of his stance. And Sean Lee actually covers this pretty well. He doesn't really give Kyle Rudolph a good stem. Kyle Rudolph doesn't really stem this route well, but once he gets to the top of the route, he does put on a nice little head fake, uses his hands, and gets himself open. And easy catch, he's going to make it every single time. He's just reliable like that. And I think that's really the main takeaway there. Is just that's like a very easy play, but that's what he does. That easy stuff that the Giants didn't have anyone to do last year. They didn't have anyone who was physical and could make that easy play like that, but now they do. And Kyle Rudolph brings that to them. I think that's important. So again, on this play, jumbo formation, he's going to be on the right side of the offensive line this time, at the inline tight end position. And you're going to see him just peel across the formation, get wide open for a second, then Sean Lee recognizes it, and he comes and covers it. But Kirk Cousins throws it up anyway, and look at that catch. Now, that's just an amazing reception right there by Kyle Rudolph. So basically what you take away from that is he's good. He's a phenomenal football player. That is just a spectacular catch to make with one hand in the back of the end zone. Just a wonky throw by Kirk Cousins, too, cross body on one foot like that. Wonky throw, very strange throwing motion, jumping backwards, a little fadeaway. But you just see Kyle Rudolph keeps his eyes on the football. You see him tracking this thing the whole way through, because he's going to end up catching it in a spot completely different from where he is right now, where I have it paused, and he's got a defensive back literally all across his face. But he's got his eyes on the quarterback. He's got his eyes on the football, and he's going to track this ball. And when he sees it get up in the air, he's going to shake off Sean Lee with his hands. No PI, but he's going to shake him off, and he's going to track this ball, and he's going to get his hand out there and just stick to the ball like glue. I think that this is just a phenomenal play. I love just his focus and his concentration as he watches Kirk Cousins and makes sure to get this ball in. And then, of course, it's just a phenomenal one-handed reception. You love to see that. Giants truly do have a nice amount of playmakers on their team now, Kyle Rudolph being one of them. Now, again, on this play, jumbo set. He's playing the inline tight end position. This time he's on the left side. And again, we're going to see him make another touchdown reception here. And it's going to be another phenomenal one-handed grab. Like, this guy is a playmaker. This dude is so impressive. Kyle Rudolph, actually, like, when you go and you watch his film, he does all of those dirty things, right? The blocking from the inline tight end position, the 0 to 5 yard receptions where he gets, whacked in the back, but he has to just hold on to it, and he does. He does all that dirty stuff, all that tight end stuff. But he also does that receiver stuff like this, because this is actually a really good route. So this is an out and up, or really it's he fakes the out and then kind of like a nod route. So kind of just gonna fake the out and then get back to the seam, and the ball comes in. He's really not ready for it, but Kyle Rudolph is always ready for it, right? So he just goes and tracks it, and I just think that this is an incredible play again. The ball locationing skills where he's able to just turn his head around, and as soon as he sees it, he gets it. See ball, get ball. And he just impressively is able to locate this thing and track it despite not really having any time to do so. So he's going to run a pretty good route here. He's double covered, which makes sense because he is such a force in the red zone. Makes sense that he would be double covered. And again, another thing I want to point out on this play is look at Kirk Cousins. He's under duress. He's under pressure. And what does he do? He just throws the ball up in the back of the end zone. He's like, Kyle Rudolph is somewhere over there. Let me just throw it up over there and hope that he comes down with it. And that's exactly what happens. And that's something that Daniel Jones now has. He has the ability to just throw the ball up in the back of the end zone and hope that Kyle Rudolph can go get it. And Kyle Rudolph is talented enough to where he will probably be able to go up and get it. So I think this is super valuable looking at a play like this where, Kyle Rudolph is making some freakish reception. How often are you going to replicate that? Not very often. But what you are going to replicate is having that reliability in the red zone, just throwing the ball up in the back of the end zone. And now Daniel Jones has that same thing that Kirk Cousins had, helped him a lot in the red zone. See him make this throw under pressure. It's not accurate. He's just throwing it up in the back of the end zone, hoping that Kyle Rudolph can get there. And he does. He runs a good route, and he tracks the ball. As soon as he turns his head around, the ball is already flying out the back of the end zone. Just got to stick out that hand and make the reception. Kyle Rudolph does it. Spectacular grab, just like the last one. Kyle Rudolph is a really, really impressive player. So basically, that's going to wrap it up. Kyle Rudolph, again, red zone scoring machine. I love what he brings to the Giants offense, the reliability, dependability, consistency, all of that, durability as well. Barely ever misses a game and barely ever drops a pass. I think all of that's super important for the Giants in terms of their general offense. But when you talk about the red zone offense, somewhere where they really struggled last season, you're talking about getting a guy who is just phenomenal at scoring the football in the red zone. The scoring zone, Kyle Rudolph's touchdown machine when he gets down in the red zone, and I think he's going to help Daniel Jones a ton, just giving him a reliable receiving threat when down in that 5 to 10 yard range from the end zone. And I can't wait to see that happen, and I can't wait to make more elite content for you guys on Tony's Takes as a Fireside Giants sideshow here. Hope you guys are liking it. You guys seem to really like the first one. Appreciate all the love and support. Make sure to subscribe if you're new. Ring the bell so you don't miss a single video. And if you're interested, go check out the member section so you can be involved with videos like this and suggest some of those topics and get some shout outs and a lot of other great perks. You can go click in the description below and see what exactly we offer with the memberships. Very affordable, very, very exclusive, and you get a lot of great stuff, a lot of perks, and we appreciate all the love and support. And that's basically all I have for you. So I'll say go Giants, and I'll see you on the next one.